I want to welcome everyone, for all of our citizens, visitors, and everyone for joining the meeting on tonight. Also, thank for the ones that's tuning in. Sorry to say, we're still having internet connection, so we won't be live, but this will be rebroadcast once the SARE gets uploaded. Hopefully, the AT&T will be here tomorrow to connect and fix everything. It's been a headache, a challenge, but so. Start with our prayer. Mr. Crawford, if you don't mind, would you lead us in prayer, followed by a pledge.
Stand with me, please, back there. Father God, we thank you for today. We thank you for the many blessings that you give each and every one of us, Father. We thank you for our families and how you blessed us there, Father. Father, we ask that you would keep 9/11 always in our minds, Father, and just be so thankful for the first responders and be with those people that lost loved ones. Father, it's still very, very real to them, Father. Father, we thank you for all first responders. We thank you for the doctors and nurses. We ask that, Father, that you would see fit to put an end to this COVID, Father, as it runs rampant through the country, Father. Father, we thank you for all of our military that keeps us safe, Father. We thank you for our county, our city, our state, our country, and the leadership that we have, Father. We pray as we do the city of Baldwin's business, Father, that we would follow your will and your wishes, Father. Father, we thank you for Ms. Stallings and her family. We thank you for her love and dedication for her family and this community. Father, we just ask you to forgive us our many sins and shortcomings. In your name I pray. Amen.
Man. You face the flag with me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would, please call the roll. Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Crawford.
Here.
Mr. Golden.
Here.
Mr. Hill.
Here.
Mr. Lau.
Here.
Mr. McKinney.
Here.
Mr. A. Here. Ms. Spinks. Here. Mr. Woods.
Here.
Thank you. We have August minutes to approve. Are there any changes or corrections? And also, did y'all get we left off one resolution on the agenda, so we're following the revised agenda here. Do y'all have a copy of the minutes? And if so, is there a motion that we approve the regular schedule, the council minutes from August?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman McKinney. Is there a second? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Under my report, I'll let you guys know that we were closed on Monday in honor of Labor Day. And I also want to thank the individuals to put the event on the square to honor victims of 9/11. Also under the report, if you guys see, we're passing the holiday schedule, and so once this passes, we will be closed for Columbus Day in October. That's our normally scheduled council meeting, which is the 11th. I think that's correct, but asking if it's okay with everyone's schedule. That's also fall break. I know a lot of teachers and people out of town, so if no one's opposed, I would like to set our meeting for October to be on Monday the 18th. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Regular time.
yes, regular time Monday the 18th. Okay. All right, next under my report, I'd like to yield the floor to Mr. Crawford. If you would, we guys, we have the Forest Festival this week, fair in town, and Mr. Crawford serves on that. He's the chairman or co-chair of that event, so I yield the floor to him to make the announcements and the events coming up for the Forest Festival.
Well, thank you. There's been a lot of work put into it. Last minute effort was because we couldn't get a fair book because of COVID. We finally got one. That's a hard thing to do, but I just want to start off by thanking Cliff and Chief Jones and all they've done to help us out there. It's a real involved venture. It's time consuming for a lot of people. We couldn't do it without a lot of volunteers. And we thank y'all for doing that, DEA. And I just want to say thank you to Jimmy Sain, County Mayor, for having the forethought to get the grants and funding for a lot of the facilities you see out there. If y'all can remember, I was on the old fair board. It basically went away and the fairground was not kept up. As you can see, and those of you who've been out there know that it's a very vital part of our community now. We're having a lot of functions out there, and we do appreciate it. But I passed out a schedule, but basically we open tomorrow. We do have some people that wanted to do exhibits. Next year, we'll have a better start on it. We're bringing canned goods back. We have big demand for that. So I don't know what that's gonna look like because it's a last minute function. But we're having the rescue squad. They're doing a demonstration on Wednesday night. This is something last minute, and I'm sure there's some people, including Chief Foot, that thinks that wrestling is real. They're having a wrestling match.
Amen.
It's not real, according to Larry McKinney.
Amen.
It's real. Larry said it's
I
real
can
too.
come on tonight and see him.
Anyway,
And Pastor Wood.
He don't want to say it.
we'll tell everybody. Let me get back.
Yeah, right.
Let me know something back. We're having a sponsor at Walker's dinner at 5:30, and we got Cliff and his crew has volunteered to do all the manual labor for that. We appreciate that. This is real exciting. On Friday night, on Friday night, there's a husband calling contest and a tobacco spitting contest and a cornhole tournament. Now, I don't know if any of that's coming off, but it's on here. The rodeo has always been a pretty good success here. Saturday, there's gonna be a loggers competition, which ought to be good, and the Ironman shoot is gonna be at Lone Oaks. The vintage motorcycle race will be at, whose farm is that? Who knows? Who knows where that is? It's a farm here in the county that they have the race at. But anyway, the big deal is the demolition derby, and if you don't think that brings people out, just come out there.
Yeah.
Now, there's supposed to be rain, but I think it's gonna be midday. It's not gonna affect the rodeo or probably the demolition derby because they slide around all the time anyway. I've got some more books, or some in City Hall, but if anybody needs to schedule, I'll be glad to get you a book. And look forward to seeing everybody there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Crawford. Thank you, your crew, all the volunteers, everybody that's helped to bring the fair back, and hopefully looking forward to it. Yeah, if anybody wanted to volunteer, you feel free to reach out to Mr. Crawford. I'm pretty sure he can put you to work somewhere out there at the fair. All right. Ask Ms. Stallings if she would come up front, please. And if you guys want to come join her, you can. Yeah. I'm going to try to read this as loud as I can for Ms. Stallings. Hopefully she can hear. If not, she can read it. A proclamation here on behalf of birthday recognition and bowling recognition for Ms. Louise Stallings. Whereas Ms. Louise Stallings, an outstanding and much respected friend to the citizens of Bolivar and Hardeman County, Tennessee, celebrates her 90th birthday on the 8th day of July 2021. And whereas there is no more joyous occasion than the assembly of a family and friends celebrating together to renew the feeling of love, pride, and support that we all need in our lives, and I'm honored to be able to make these milestones in her life and her bowling career memorable for her and her family. And whereas Miss Louise is one such individual whose dedication and unconditional love to her children, Judy, Janet, Sammy, Tim, and Ronnie, and all of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren radiates throughout them. And whereas Ms. Stallings is a long lifetime member of First Baptist Church of Bolivar and has graciously and selflessly served the church body in many capacities, and whereas Ms. Louise is a very talented, accomplished, and lifelong devoted bowler, she is well known throughout the national bowling community. Ms. Stallings has won many tournaments and state titles in her bowling career, the most recent being winner of the 75-plus women's single in the Tennessee State USBC Association 2021 Senior Handicap Tournament. And now, therefore, I, Julian A. McTizick, Mayor of the City of Bolivar, hereby honor the life of Miss Louise Stallings, reflecting on her dedication and hard work, and we wish her all the best in her future endeavors. Our community has been touched and blessed by such caring and compassionate citizen. And in witness whereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Bolivar, Tennessee, to be affixed on this 13th day of September 2021 On behalf of the entire city council and myself, Jewel McTizzle, we thank you so much. She's a great neighbor too, so let's give her please a hand. Not only will she outvote you, you go over here and recreation, she'll outwalk you too.
Ronnie, y'all get a picture with Janet. Janet, y'all get a let Sarah get a picture with y'all too.
She said, you know I'm your neighbor.
Julian,
I'll
get a picture with kids too.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Oh,
Let me help you out so all the family can see it.
You want to get the
We'll get on the edge.
All right, y'all ready? Yeah. 1, 2, and 3.
Thank y'all. Yeah, don't let the age fool you. She get around pretty good.
I like what the shirt said.
You can't keep up. Yeah, she in the gym walking every day almost.
Did you see what the back
Oh,
of the
yeah,
shirt
whatever it
said?
takes.
Whatever it takes.
Well, that's all I have under my report. Moving on to the standing committee reports. First, on the Electric Department, Volume Energy Authority Board met on August 26, 2021 for their regular monthly meeting. The following action was taken by the board. They approved the COVID-19 leave policy, and the board approved for Stuart C. Ivory to do a detailed feasibility study on fiber to the home. And let me just say, I might try to see if I can get Tony to come to our meeting in October. I want to commend Tony. I don't know if I've said it in the council at all, but I'd say it in community. I want to commend Tony Kirk on the job that he's doing at BEA, the board as well. Tony's been great. I mean, when he took office out there, I think COVID sort of stopped all his plans, but every time I reach out to him, he's been there to help us. So I just want to say, good job to Tony. Keep up the good work, and they're working. I know broadband is a big issue for us in the county, and they're working hard to try to make some things happen on their end. So just wanted to say kudos to Tony, and then like I said, I'll try to see if I can get him at the board meeting next month to go a little more in depth on that. Next, we have the utilities, Mr. Cliff Henson.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, the Utility Board moved their meeting from September the 1st to the 8th due to some conflict on some of the stuff that was going to be brought up in front of the board. So we moved that to the 8th. First of all, the Tennessee Public Utility Commission came in last week and did their annual gas audit. We had pretty good results for that. We had no violations and no non-compliance, so we were all houses in order. Jim, Knuckles, and Cody Sipes took lead of that inspection and done a great job. I was very proud of them for that. And the utility board also approved to replace one of our anode beds. It's located on Stevens Road. After 45 years, it has went out. That consists of bringing a technician in and replacing the anodes.
For 45 years, I think we got a good use out of it.
I'm sorry?
I said 45 years, I think we got pretty good use out of it.
We've got a couple more that's that old too, so keep our fingers crossed. But we'll get that scheduled to replace here in the next couple of 3 weeks. And I'll need to get with the industrial board to get some locations because we want to put it out there at the city industrial board, industrial park. So I need to get with them and get approval for that. We're not going to be in the middle of the lot or anything like that. We're just going to try to get on the edge so we can tie back to our gas main. But other than that, the board approved to install some cameras at the East Jackson Utility Shop. We had a couple of 3 break-ins, and last year they've come out with a lot of stuff. So the board did approve to put some cameras up there to kind of put an eye on the sky so we can watch that. And gas prices have gone up for a consecutive month. It's moved up to 79 cents per 100 cubic foot. So I've talked to TIAC, our marketers, to get some ideas why this is happening. And it's just the world we live in now with the hurricanes and all is creeping up, but they expect it to go back down probably within the next couple of months. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. But everything else is routine, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Benson. Next we have Fire Chief Jones. I'm sorry, Chief Price. Getting ahead of myself.
Good afternoon. My report, total fire call was 18 fire calls, had 13 in the city, had 5 in the county. Training hour was 200, smoke alarm install was 3, pre-planned inspection was 8. We have stopped doing pre-planned inspection because the virus had picked back up, so we're not going into business right now. And just want to invite you guys out for September the 23rd. They're going to be on a Thursday at 6. We're going to be doing some training in our maze trade over at Hope Street. If you guys want to come over there and see some real good, intense training, just come on Hope Street on September the 23rd. This is my report.
Right, and Chief, if you, they did a good event for about the flood that happened and came through Waverly and really damaged a lot of property and lost a lot.
I said that's next month.
This next month, I'm sorry, never mind. Well, I'll just say they did a good job. It's going to be old news next month. Just want to commend Chief Price and their team. Go and tell us about it now. You can tell us again next month, too.
Okay. Well, we had a supply drive for Waverly out at Walmart, and we took up 2 trailer loads and my vehicle load. We took it up to Waverly last Thursday or Friday one, and them guys really truly would appreciate it. But I don't know. I know Mr. Crawford been up there. I think he's from there, but he been up there. And if you hadn't been up there, really truly something to see, you know. But we did, and I tell you what, Hardeman County, great county to live in. I never want to live in another county, man, because Hardeman County always give. I mean, they go over and beyond giving. So, and out there at Walmart, and with our Walmart new manager they have out there named Cade, don't remember the last name, that guy almost gave the whole store. He was real good about helping out that day. So, but y'all see him, y'all meet him, just thank him for us that really truly he did it for the city of Bolivar. So,
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And you can put that in your report again next month. All right, next we have Police Chief Jones.
Good evening. My report is as follows. Calls for services, 564. Having problems with my glasses. Citations, 158. Under accidents, there's a typo. It says 14, but 14 and 2 don't equal 20, so I'll have to check into that one. Total number of arrests are 23. 1 was a juvenile, 2 were adults. We did 5 DUI saturations last month, and we did 152 hours of training. That concludes my report.
Hey, Chief. Parks, Mr. Stat.
Mayor, council.
We hosted the Bolivar Middle School softball home games, and we had 7 pavilion reservations. Also, we hosted a car show at City Park. We've been meeting with A2H on upcoming projects at Sand Beach Lake. We should have some more stuff to talk about there, bid opening. Everything else been routine.
Frank, I hope we had that bid open the next month. I hope so. All right. Recreation, Mr. Ford.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Recreation Department reports on the following. Our soccer league registration has come and gone, and the games will start at the end of this month. We had our draft and pick teams, so they're excited about that. Our city-sponsored cornhole tournament that we had at the Farmers Market, it was a big success. We had 10 teams, which was 20 players that participated. A good crowd came out to watch as well. Thank Councilman Dylan Hill for participating, coming out, and
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Donated I definitely want to thank Mr. Eddie Vander and the street department for making those boards in a short amount of time.
They looked fantastic.
And they were great.
Good job, Eddie.
We appreciate that. We continue to push the sport of tennis to the youth in the community, and we're going to continue that on the last Saturday every month at the tennis courts at the city park. Also, the Get Healthy Walking Initiative at Sand Beach Lake on the second Saturdays, we continue to have that out there. We walked this past Saturday. I had 20 people to come out, so it was a very nice, pleasant time. And lastly, the adult exercise class that we're doing is going well, and we will continue that throughout the rest of the year on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Streets and sanitation, Eddie Vanderbilt.
Good evening. We're pretty much routine this month, but I need y'all to open the bids up for dumpsters tonight, though.
All right. We got one.
That's all we ever get
I'm
for
gonna say,
dumpsters.
yeah, we all, I've been in council 4 years, and what's his name, up here saying, what, waste equipment we buy, how many, 8 every year?
No, 15 usually, not quite, yeah, 15.
They hide the price on these things. Here we go. 15, sales price $1,635, total of $24,525.
We won't get that many this year. We only got 12,000 in the budget.
So we look at getting half of that, y'all. There's
We'll have
a
to back it up a little bit.
bit. 1,635.
Yeah.
So we got 12,000
Yes, sir.
in the budget. So it's okay with y'all. We can get a motion to take this bid and get as many as we can get out for 12,000.
Second.
Motion second. Any question? All right,
Will these go to new locations or are these replacing?
They
There
replaced.
goes new locations plus replacement too.
And I made a note. We're moving that dumpster we talked about too.
Yeah, we're gonna move it.
I'm telling you, I just don't get it, you know, I mean.
Well, that guy they
Yeah.
caught that guy and he got a ticket for it, I think. They said
Yeah.
about $200 something, but he come picked all the stuff up too though.
But, you know, what about like the bulk items that you're picking up? I mean, is that increasing bulk stuff?
Not real bad.
Is what increasing bulk stuff?
The amount of bulk that they're having to pick up. I mean, it just concerns me that we're still, you know, on the way here today, I guess somebody is evicted or renter or something.
Yeah,
because
I see that too.
there was a
On Jones
whole
Street.
house of furniture on the curb. And I mean, I'm just thinking, we gotta pick all that up and take it all the way to Walnut. I mean,
Right.
you know, this stuff's getting expensive for
It
us.
is.
to do.
Was it on Jones Street?
Yeah.
They were, I'm gonna reach out, and I talked to that property owner today. I'm gonna have a talk to them at the courthouse and at the sheriff's department. Maybe Mr. Wood can translate this message to them. These people, when they get evicted, the sheriff's department and deputies they're telling them to put that stuff at the curb, and that ain't. Bulk pickup is for somebody we got an old couch at the house or something like that. That's never been the intent of bulk pickup.
Yeah, that should be the homeowner.
Yeah, so that's, and you know, the cost of taking it off, they can charge that to that person in court. And so I talked to her on the way to the meeting up here, and she said, well, I'm sorry, because I told her we don't do bulk pickup till October. And she said, well, I'm sorry, the deputy told me to put it out there, and I just did what they told me, so I wouldn't try to put that on Mr. But she just was doing, so I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna get with it, and we're gonna clear that up at the courthouse, and you know, now all of that ain't the case, some of that is just people just clear it, but you know, that I noticed that earlier today, and it's.
And like the other house on Jones Street that's got the big, that they're redoing, it used to be the old Fawcett house, got the big dumpster in the yard.
Yeah.
It's been there for 3 weeks, you know.
Now they are remodeling that one, and they done emptied that one 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not. That's
No,
a private.
We don't have anything to do with that.
Okay,
The property,
okay.
the people that's property owner, even they finish my house, they are responsible for the property.
Gotcha,
they
okay.
And that's how it should
Yeah.
be. But
Right.
some of these people, these tenants and landlords, and
Yeah,
these landlords
okay.
putting them out. But a couple of dumpsters we talked in our department head meeting this morning. They're gonna move some of the ones we've been having problems out of, and the business owners are not putting the trash in there. It's people from
No,
the
that's
county
right,
putting
and
it.
those people are probably still paying that bill, and
Yeah. So
they're not even there, you know.
There you go. But we'll get those up to the $12,000. I'm sorry, call the roll.
Thanks,
Mr.
sir.
Clerk. We didn't
I'm
even vote. Any no more questions? I have a motion on the second. If you would, okay, our screen is up like Wi-Fi working right now. Cast your vote.
Every drop.
Air up before it drop.
Same time. Better air up, yeah.
Motion carried. Planner, Mr. Golden.
Last month, talked about the address of 121 Jefferson Street from R1 to B2. The commission voted to bring the rezoning orders to the council.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Golden. We'll be discussing that here shortly. You guys have the library report. Ms. Becker has some illness in her family.
Well, I mean, so does that mean we've got to do something with this?
With what? That
The
ordinance?
rezoning.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on the,
Oh,
on the new business.
Okay.
New business.
Yeah.
Under new business. See.
Next,
Gotcha.
you have the library report there, and then next we have historic zoning. Ms. Ray.
Oh, let's see, historic zoning, we met and discussed the new roof at Shaw Broadcasting, but because that had not had an application sent before the commission, there was no action that we could take on that. We had a COA for a new sign to go at Big Waves, but that was denied because they're already over their limit of signs that are allowed. And then we were shown samples of the new awning covers for 113 North Main and 115 North Main that are fixing to be replaced.
Thank you, Ms. Ray. Compliance and zoning, you have that, Mr. Watkins. His surgery went well. If you guys didn't know, he had surgery on his shoulder, so he's out for a couple of weeks or so. Mr. Puff, guess not. I shouldn't call him Puff, but that's all we know him as Puff. He's a part-time helping out with some of the compliance issues we're dealing with and stuff, so he's working through some of those while Mr. Watkins is down. Main Street and DEFCO, trying to say I was going to give y'all the next DEFCO meeting, tentatively set for October 4th. This next DEFCO meeting, and
12 o'clock, what time?
no, I'm sorry, 5. And I will forward y'all the minutes from the last meeting once I receive those. All right, we have no old business. Under new business, second reading of ordinance 21003, amending Title 4, Chapter 2, Section 4, 215 of the Bolivar Municipal Code to establish holidays for the city of Bolivar. This is a second reading. We have to have our public hearing. So, is there a motion that
So move.
we go into public session?
So
All right, we
move.
have a motion to go into public session. Second by Mr. Woods. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're now in the public hearing section of ordinance 21003. If there's anyone here who'd like to make any comments or suggestions on that ordinance, this would be your opportunity. I think all the employees would be able to, if they could speak, they would probably say they in favor of this ordinance. Is there a motion to reconvene into executive session?
So move. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Woods and second by Mr. McKinney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're now here. The second reading, executive session of ordinance 21003, and just to say it again, basically just is ask you guys to add Juneteenth as a holiday, Columbus Day as a holiday, and employee birthday. And that's what this ordinance does. Any questions or comments? All right, is there a motion that we approve? Motion by Mr. Crawford. Second by Mr. Golden. If you would, cast your votes.
You gotta vote again, because he kicked you out.
Yeah, I voted before we even made a motion. I'm sorry. I'm in a big hurry there. Me. My fault there.
Motion carried. All right, guys, y'all start looking at y'all birthday dates. They've been all waiting on that day. So now we have a second reading of ordinance 21004. This is a budget amendment, ordinance for a budget amendment for the fire department for holiday pay. Is there a motion that we go into public hearing on ordinance 21004?
So move.
Motion by Mr. McKinney. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Crawford. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We're down to public hearing. Just to amend the budget here to cover the, anybody? All right, is there a motion to reconvene in the executive session?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Woods, second by Mr. Lau. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Like you guys, just to refresh your memory, this basically was just the ordinance. We had a couple of firemen, we wanted to make sure they got their holiday pay. They couldn't take it off in time, so this is what this is. All right, is there a motion to approve ordinance 21004?
Make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Lau,
Second.
second by Ms. Ray. We'll cast your votes. All right, motion carried. Now we have the first reading of ordinance 21005. This is the ordinance that Councilman Golden was referring to. Basically, it is to rezone Bolivar Municipal Planning Zone. To basically give y'all an idea of where this is, what this is, the backstory on this. The property, what was the name of that? Is it Greenberry Bright? Is that the name of that house? Or the house behind Maxwell's used to be a flower shop there. It burned 7, 8 years ago, maybe. I don't know how long it's been when it burned down. There's just a garage there now. Right now, that property is zoned as R1. There's a gentleman, him and his wife, they bought that parcel of land there. He wants to move his barber shop there and fix that shed there up and work there out of that building. When they bought it, they didn't realize, and neither did us for that matter, realized that it was residential zone, and they just want to rezone that. So what we're doing, rezoning that property and the property where the old Board of Education is, we're making that B2. The Planning Commission has forwarded to you guys for with a positive recommendation, and we just got to get this passed. It has to be done by ordinance. So I'll take any questions on that if there is. And hope I sort of explain where that property is and everybody got
I
a
make
clear
a motion,
understanding.
we approve ordinance 2021-05.
A second.
I have a motion by Ms. Ray and a second by Mr. Lau to approve ordinance 2021-05. Questions? All of you will cast your votes. Guess we lost it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We're gonna get this Wi-Fi working here after a while. Get us a broadband grant or something. Next, oh, there we go. All right, next we have resolution 2021-07. Adopt a bicycle and pedestrian plan for Highway 64, South Route 15. This basically is a resolution of support. We've been trying to get some sidewalk grants and stuff through town. We did the plan, and if y'all can remember, that's that thick piece of that presentation that we left with y'all. Real good information in that survey. A lot of work went into it. Basically, we're adopting that as our pedestrian plan, and we'll furthermore try to use that to receive some funds from TDOT for sidewalks improvement. And basically, the spot that we're looking at is 3rd Street, right here, the square where the Devco ends, expanding sidewalk streetscapes all the way down to the lake. So we hadn't got the grant. This is just the process in trying to get that. So, all right, is there any questions on that resolution?
So moved, we approve resolution 2021-07, I believe it is. Yeah.
I have a motion by Mr. McKinney,
I second.
second by Ms. Spinks. All in favor? Back up again. We'll cast your vote. Motion carried. Next we have resolution. Which one are we on? Okay, it's resolution 2021-08. This is a resolution to authorize the city to participate in the driver safety matching grant program. We get this every year. This will be for the fire department. They'll do a driving safety training course. And Chief told me for computers, right, Chief? This what this for? Okay. So if there are any questions, anything on that, if not, is there a motion to approve resolution? Motion to approve resolution 2021-08.
So moved.
I second.
Motion by Mr. Hill, second by Ms. Spinks. Questions? Cashier. Vote. Motion carried. All right. Where's that other resolution at? Next resolution is 2021-09. Here, Bill, what did I do with that? You just gave it to me. You gotta know. It's basically a resolution, we just talked about the grant, the multimodal grant to apply for. What this is basically saying that it's a grant match. If we get the grant, it's a 95-5 match, 5% match, and we potentially be getting, let's say if we get $1 million grant, we only got a 5% of that. So that's what this is, and we have to have this resolution in support saying that we will be willing to put in that 5% match in the event that we do receive that grant.
And that would be used for?
Yeah, right.
That sidewalk
Okay.
plan that we just talked about.
All right. Make a motion on that then.
All right.
What? Resolution,
And
20.
yes,
sorry.
resolution
I'm sorry.
2021-09. This is the one that was sitting on the desk up here. We just got that in today, so that's why I was late.
I make that motion.
Have a motion,
Second.
second motion by Mr. McKinney. Here you go, Stephen. A second by Ms. Ray. If you would cast your vote. Motion carried. All right, next we have, you guys know, Mr. Steve, we sent y'all the email from our attorney. Well, earlier this month, he did receive the bid to be chancellor for, I don't know the district number, none of that stuff, 26 or something, some district, whatever. He's a chancellor now, so he can no longer perform duties of as our attorney. We put out emails, sent messages and ads in the Tennessee Municipal League Attorney Association, Jackson Sun website, all that. And we received 2 resumes. See, Mr. Brooks is here. We received a resume from Attorney Brooks and also a resume from the Minor Johnston Douglas firm in Somerville. And let me preface this. I didn't tell them that they had to be here. I did ask that they have the resumes to us before this meeting. So that's why Miss Odom is not here. I just told her that we need, and so that's my fault. If I had gave her a little notice, she said she could have been here, but she's with the Minor Johnston firm in Somerville, and then Mr. Brooks is here as well. So we will have to appoint an attorney. This position will be for the remaining of the 4-year term that I'm serving as mayor and the group that came in with me in the event that they choose to leave or something else happens. So I'm not opposed to, if we would like to yield the floor to Mr. Brooks, we can do that. It's up to you guys how y'all want to move forward. Y'all have the resumes here. If y'all have any questions, if not, if y'all want to make y'all choice, I'll leave that at the will and pleasure of the board at this time.
Well, if since he's here, I feel like we can give him opportunity to speak.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
With that being said, if it's ours with the mayor and the
I'm
council.
fine with that too. And like I said, Mr. Brooks, you can come. And I just wanted to let you guys know I did not invite Miss Abby, and that was just on me. But Mr. Brooks is here, and we can yield the floor to Mr. Brooks.
Good morning, Mayor, and good evening, Mayor and Council. I did have an opportunity to speak to the majority of the council in submitting my information. I would just open myself up for any questions. I have been in private practice for 20 years. I think I separate myself from any other candidate because I, like you, am a city councilman myself. I've served on the Jackson City Council for 5 terms, serving as vice mayor, city treasurer, and all the committees that you can imagine. I'm also a city attorney for Whiteville, and surely know that I can bring a level of expertise, and surely believe that I can respond much more quickly than a firm with, 10 or 8 other cities. But again, just looking forward to the opportunity, and I would open the floor up for any questions if you have any.
Can you tell us what your fees would be, your per hour rate?
I would think that they would be the market rate, and probably similar to Mr. Maroney's.
Do you have a retainer? Would be required to pay a retainer monthly?
I would have a monthly retainer, yes, of $1,000 per meeting and $200 per hour relative to any research. As a mayor and council knows too, many of these issues are transactional. We don't know somebody can slip and fall right outside the meeting today, and we would have to investigate that and move forward. So surely any drafting of contracts, legal research, God forbid litigation, would be at $200 an hour.
And to tell you guys, that's so what we have in our budget and what we do with Mr. Maroney, and this is what we've done with Mr. Maroney and Mr. Hornsby since I've been. It's $1,000 a month retainer, and that's what the billable hour rate is that we have budgeted now.
$200 an hour.
Yes, I believe it is. I'll confirm. I know the $1,000 a month is. I know that's the retainer for our attorney and the judge as well.
And additionally, I'm a member of the Tennessee Municipal Attorneys. I'm sorry, Mayor. I'm a member of the Tennessee Municipal Attorneys Association. Have those resources at my disposal as well. Like a councilman, just like you all use MTAS and Tennessee Municipal League, surely very well versed in all of those actual resources. I'm most proud of the my work that I've done with the city of Whiteville. I drafted their new purchasing policy, and I know that many cities are going through that now. I'm actually also in the middle of providing a summary of the new public acts that are coming out of the 2021 General Assembly, and we'll be preparing a summary for the council and mayor, if I am selected, with the relevant bills that have been passed. So I'm sure everyone is anxious to see those and ready to hit the ground running. Are there any other questions?
I do have to, let me say this, maybe you can elaborate on it. The Do the Right Thing that you have there in Jackson, which I think is a very successful program that you have in Jackson. And maybe if you can just elaborate on some on that, maybe let the council be aware of that.
Sure, absolutely. As part of my practice, I do pro bono work in juvenile court. So, I see our kids come through there every day. And in response to that, now 15 years ago, I joined the Do the Right Thing Challenge, which is a write is W-R-I-T-E. It's a writing competition for middle school students. I'm sure many of us are parents, middle school are some tough years for our kids. And what we found is those are critical years as far as children coming into the criminal justice system. So children write about 3 things: causes of youth violence, how youth violence affects their lives, and most importantly, what are some of their solutions to youth violence. We have a group of readers that evaluate those essays. In the Jackson-Madison County school system, generally we will average 700 to 800 children that participate in the challenge and accept the challenge to not only write an essay, but to say no to youth violence in their communities, their homes, and their schools. And as a matter of fact, with COVID, of course, things have changed. Our banquet is actually coming up next week, but we select the top 10 boys and girls from the system, and we have We honor those kids with gifts and trophies and everything else. And we ultimately select the national ambassadors. That's the boy and girl that wrote the most responsive essays. And I take those 2 students, a parent of each, and their teacher to Washington, D.C. for the National Do the Right Thing Recognition Week. Jackson actually is the smallest city to participate. The majority of the cities are major metropolitan cities, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, LA, and those kids are there for a week. Harlem Globetrotters are our corporate sponsor, the Marriott Hotel, so we stay at the Marriott, Southwest Airlines, and ultimately I want to bring that program here to Bolivar as well.
I've been a part of some of his banquets and events, and it's
Mayor spoke.
It's a real good program out there in Jacksonville.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks, for coming. Mr. Brooks, and y'all have the resume here for Ms. Abby. Oh, I guess I'll just read this. Pleased to be considered for the position of city attorney for the city of Bolivar. Our firm has 30-plus years of experience in handling issues for various municipalities. Currently represent the following city towns: Oakland, Roswell, Somerville, Bosco, LaGrange, Hickory Valley, Grand Junction, and Middleton. Mr. Minor is also the school board attorney for Fayette County. We have a wealth of knowledge in municipal law and truly enjoy working closely with the various mayors, councils, and board members. If you choose to hire a firm, I would be the attorney primarily assigned to your city. We pride ourselves on our vast knowledge of municipality law. We currently bill Mr. Minor's time at $185 per hour and my time at $150 per hour. We do not generally ask, although you are welcome to pay a monthly retainer. We will bill the hourly fee against the retainer if that is the payment route you prefer. I would be happy to attend board meetings and any other special sessions that you wish for us to attend. We do ask that you send the agendas to our firm ahead of time, as well as anything you see you would like for us to be prepared to address. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Ms. Abby Odom, attorney at law from Minor, Johnston, Douglas, PLLC. So that's Ms. Odom.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna jump out here, I guess, and nominate Mr. Brooks as our next city attorney. And the reason why I'm saying that is, let me turn my mic on for Mr. Mick back there, is that first of all, he's one of us. He's our colleague. He's just in another town, but he's one of our colleagues. He's a city councilman there in Jackson. I mean, he walk in the shoes that we walk in every day, you know, constituents, on different boards, vice mayor, and also he's the city attorney there in Whitesville. And I just think that I don't know the other attorneys. All I do know that they have 9 now that they represent as city attorney. Bolivar will be number 10. I think that that's just a little bit much for that firm. And I'm looking for someone that's concentrating on Bolivar. Or, you know, at least we can call, and he's not too far from us where we can just come down and talk to us or whatever we need to do. With that being said, I know he's had Bolivar at heart. I've been knowing Mr. Brooks for years, and I've been knowing his program for years, to do the right thing. And he's been doing a lot of good things for the city of Jackson. And I just feel like that will be a beneficiary for the city of Bolivar to have him on board with us. And with that being said, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Brooks as the next city attorney of Bolivar.
Okay. Well, we'll probably do it by telling, everybody would see who they want to vote.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Well, I rephrased it then.
Yeah, so just do the nomination.
Nominate him as the next city attorney. I rephrased it then, Mayor.
All right, perfect. Well, we got a nomination for Mr. Brooks. Does anybody do any other nominations, anything?
I would nominate Ms. Odom strictly because I have been working with that law firm for 30 years. And Tom Minor Group has been nothing but excellent for its legal work for us, the bank and their cities.
We work with y'all back too?
I
Probably
nominate
everybody.
Mr. Brooks.
So what we'll do then, we'll just do a roll call vote. So if you would call the roll, Miss Claire.
Mr. Crawford.
Ms. Odom.
Mr. Golden.
Ms. Odom.
Mr. Hill.
Ms. Odom.
Mr. Lau.
Ms. Odom.
Mr. McKinney.
Mr. Brooks.
Mr. A.
Ms. Odom.
Ms. Spinks.
Mr. Brooks.
Mr. Woods.
Mr. Brooks.
Oh, it's 5-3.
4 and 4. Mr. Lau, who did you vote for?
Ms. Odom.
Odom.
Oh, I counted. So it's 4. Who voted? Call again. What would you vote for, Bill?
Odom.
Oh, yeah, it's 5-3. He said Odom. All right, so we have Odom. Miss Odom, that'll pass. Then, so we'll reach out to her tomorrow and let y'all know from there. Before we move on, she doesn't charge. They don't charge a retainer. So, do y'all want to volunteer to pay a retainer? How do y'all bill against a retainer, or just bill per hour?
This is on Phyllis.
Just, what'd you say, Lee? Everybody's okay with that?
At $150 an hour, I would say do it by the hour.
Yeah, well, that'll save some, unless we have a lot of legal issues, it'll be a little less in the budget. All right, next on the agenda, the Scan Pro 3000 presentation, and she is not here. All right, well, I'll tell y'all what this is. Ms. Deborah Carrier came to DEFCO and a couple other people. She's friends of the library, and they have been trying to raise funds to buy a imaging machine, and I think do you remember the cost, Carrie? I was hoping I told her to come, but so I ain't really gonna try to go too in depth on this. It was not much. I want to say less than $8,000 or what the three? It wasn't much of you know how much this was?
I can't remember. They talked about it.
It wasn't much at all. I was thinking less than 5, but I just wanted to say a little more. But
Who is it that's wanting us
it's
to look at
Deborah
this?
Carrier. She's friends of the library. It's a bunch that's raising funds to put this piece of equipment in the library. And she was going to a whole bunch of different communities and different places to raise the money. And she came to my office and I told her if that was something that the library wanted. It's not a lot of money. We didn't budget it, but I mean, if you let's say it was $5,000. We split the cost between the county. We're 52-48. We're 48%. The county does 52%. And I told her I'm almost positive that if the county agreed to do the 52%, that we would agree to the 48%. Like I said, it's $5,000 less for us to do so. But basically, what they want to put this piece of equipment in the history room, and it's the history room gets people from all over this state and country going over there to do research and stuff, and I mean, I think it'll be a good thing for them to have, but I'm probably not doing it justice. I promise you I'm not, but.
Do they have a deadline on when they want it?
No, they honestly have been selling hot dogs and everything else trying to raise $5,000, and they done raised quite a bit of it themselves.
So Friends of the Library is a separate organization?
Yes, it's separate from the library, basically like a football booster type group, and they're volunteers, and they do things to help support the library. This is something that I talked to Becky about. They would love to have it, but they didn't put it in their budget, and I didn't bring it to y'all because they didn't bring it to me until now. So I told her if she would have came to the council meeting, that I'm pretty sure that y'all would have been very well in support of.
Have they been with the county?
The county is next Tuesday. I think county commission meeting is next Tuesday. I think she's going to. I was hoping she was going to be here tonight. I told her about the meeting. So
they really had gotten fired back up, and then COVID kind of slapped it down. But the Friends of the Library has been pretty active, and again, we're getting more active till this kind of slam the door, so.
Well, I make a motion that if the county will do their portion of the funding, that we do ours.
Okay, so we got a motion, to spend, can we put a limit? Can you put something maybe up to 5,000 something?
Up to
I
our,
wanna make
up
sure.
to our percentage
Yeah.
of 5,000.
Okay, yeah,
Are you sure 5,000 is the number?
I know it's less than that. I really, yeah, so,
Okay.
They hope so, they just talks about it.
yeah, so, and if it's more, I'll come back. Yeah, a motion,
Up to our percentage of 5,000.
and second by Mr. Lau. Call the roll, Ms. Clerk.
I have a question.
Question, I'm sorry.
So Becky is for it?
Yes, Becky.
So we need to tell the lady that she really needs to go through Becky so we can know firsthand.
I explained that to her when we met. Like the only reason I didn't know anything about it until she came to the DEFCO meeting asking for funds, and and I told her I didn't support it in the DEFCO meeting. I mean, just not that I didn't support this. DEFCO just wasn't the place for the funding source for this. We could pay for this out the general fund just like the county would too. So, but I did tell her that.
Do you have an idea how much they've already raised?
I do not. I don't. And like I said, I was hoping she would be here. That's why I don't know any of these numbers. And but it was quite a bit that they had raised. And what I'll do, I'll get her. I try to reach out to her and get her to send those numbers to Carrie Beth and have her send them to y'all.
But now, if we agree to do this, we're allowing them to keep their funds for something else?
Yes.
We're not asking them to pay on this too, right?
My motion is for this to be a county, city venture.
Yeah, okay. To cover the cost of the
Yeah.
and it will be libraries. It will be the libraries.
The library will own it, but we're not asking them to use the Friends of the Library funding at all.
Yeah,
No.
okay. Everybody understand the motion from Ms. Ray? And the second one, Mr. Lau. If you would cast your votes. Back up. Motion carried. That's all I have. We have anybody on community development? Thank you.
We don't.
Let me say something I forgot to mention. Lynn, we appreciate y'all going up there, and I lived there for years, but I got a report from the EMA director. I don't know if anybody met him over Odell Corner, and the police chief, is fire chief too, as well known. Great guy, but Odell told me there was 539 homes damaged in county. Wow. 288 destroyed, basically within a small defined area. 168 major damage, minor damage, 51 some damage, 44 commercial properties damaged, 8 public buildings, county utility, gas, and electric.
Mr. Mayor, I think they're gonna have to rebuild that, middle school, I think they're gonna have to rebuild that middle school. Tear it down.
You know, that whole school sector, it's been flooded so many times there. I don't know where they're gonna locate it. It got into the high school, but it's on the other end. But yeah, they'll tear that school down.
Yeah.
But just say that to kind of give you a visual of what's going on there.
And I've signed on a coalition of mayors across the state on funding flood prevention and mitigation through the state. This happens quite often in our state where we deal with them.
Do we have all of our flood zones, maps, everything up to date?
Yeah.
But I think what they need in the future, they needed what was taken. They checked out, asked what to bring. You know, there's some things there that they won't use in 15 years, but from this point forward, somebody like Lynn can make contact with those people. But the gift cards is something they're gonna need forever, because they're gonna need, when they start building, they're not gonna guess what it takes to build, they're not gonna get furniture, you know. So if any organization wants to go through Lynn and see what the organizations are, they've been posted to churches, the gift cards is what's gonna be needed in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford, for that. Any other comments? Now, is there a motion we adjourn?
So move.
Motion, Mr. Kenny, second?
Second.
All in favor? Stole it, yeah, he didn't let you have no time on it.
Mr. Crawford over there.